Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank you for finding your way over to In House Convos. Before you dive deep into this next episode, do me one huge favor. Find that subscribe button and smash it. Then go and select any video you want, give some thumbs up, and leave me some comments. And since you're already on social media, you know how to share and all that, go ahead and repost this for me one time. But enjoy this next episode of In House Convos. All right, and now we're live. Or not live, but we're recording. Yo, what's up, everybody? Marc the franchise here. We're back with another episode of In House Convos. Today, I have a super special guest, my new brother, my new homeboy, my new skateboarding connection, my new superstar video cameraman, everything under one roof. This is a homeboy right here. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the one and only Hesh Hippie of Street Savage TV. My homeboy.
What up, man?
I'm glad to have you here, my brother.
Dude, it's good to be here. I always got love for you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I've seen that since day one, and I remember exactly where we met. I don't know if you do, but I remember exactly where we met. Mad Flavor Fest back in 2022.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I remember that distinctly because as soon as I jumped off stage, you were what's the word? Like, you're complimentary.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I feel like I did a bad job, but thank you. But dude, you were just so cool. And we exchanged IGs, and ever since then, man, I've seen everything you do. We always ran into the each other at the same events, the same pop-up. Like, we ended up in the same circle, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like the universe was speaking, knew what we needed, and it brought us together, man. 'Cause this is a good friendship, man.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed being in your presence. I've really enjoyed seeing you grow with your company and the different moves you've been making. I'm so impressed with your drive. I'm so impressed with how you never settle. You want more and more. Because for me, I love having that around me in my life because it pushes me to be better. It pushes me to do more. I never compare myself, but I just see, okay, this person's grinding. This person's doing this. I get inspired. So I want you to know, you inspire me, brother.
Thank you.
You inspire me a lot, man. And yeah, man. Who would have thought, right? Mad Flavor Fest 2022, and now we're here.
Right? Yeah, Mad Flavor Fest was the first events that I started getting booked for.
Yeah?
Shout out to Mad Boy. And when I saw you get off stage, I'm a hip-hop head. I love music. I love lyrical music. I love trap beats. I love, all types of hip-hop.
Right.
Being black and Mexican, that's black Mexican culture right there. That's our roots,
yeah.
That what we gravitate towards. And when I saw you come off stage, I was like, all right, dope. He's lyrical. He's, fun. He's got that West Coast vibe. You have a lot of things that embody a great artist, and then you're consistent at the same time. There's so many people that I'm like, oh, you make great music. I'd love to listen to your stuff. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to do this. And then you don't see them post anything for a week or, months and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, damn, I would have loved to shoot, your music video. I would have loved to hang out with you at these events. I would have loved to see you grow and see good people prosper. That's my drive a lot with Street Savage TV too, was always pushing and being that media and that source for people to get quality, the best of the best, quality photos that they could use in magazines, in promotional things that they have in the future, getting the video on point so they could use it and repost it and just have something to always be grinding and have something to show for the industry and a resume for them to grow into whatever they want to do in the future. It's all about that consistency. Yeah. So I see that out of you, and I've always, gravitated towards people like that, the doers, the ones that are positive, the ones that are making waves for people around them. Like you said, you have friends and things you bring to these events, and you bring family members, and you uplift the people to come to these events and fill up the space, and have a good time and get to see you perform live, and all of that really matters to people. And for me as a media person and personality at this point, that's really what I look for in up and coming artists. So anytime you got a project or anything, I'm always down to help you out and work on it with you, because I know that you're gonna produce quality work. Your music's good, You're gonna show up on point. You got good people in your circle, and
Yeah, man. Thank you.
you know, it's just
I respect the hell out of that.
hell
Man,
yeah.
I feel like I'm being interviewed now. Thank you though, man, for reals.
No, hell yeah, it's just
Yeah,
easy,
man.
you know.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. I take pride in being a pretty universal artist, meaning I can go anywhere, perform on any stage, and I can show out.
Yeah,
You know, it's obviously crafted, you know, obviously worked at and practiced, and you know, I just didn't show up and start doing, like, I really worked at it, you know. And then I've always just had that type of attitude and mentality where it's like, just be humble, treat people good, and you know, you'll get what's yours. I've never been an asshole to people. I've never been a dick. Like, I talk to promoters and people who put on shows, and I tell them straight up, like, look, I'm probably going to be one of the easiest artists to work with. I don't talk shit. I don't have no ego. I don't do no back and forth. I don't, oh, but you said this and that. Like, I don't do none of that shit. It's like, hey, you're booking me? Okay, I'll be at the event. You're putting me up when? Okay, I'll go up there. Like, it's just simple. Just smooth, because they got a lot of shit to worry about. I got my own shit to worry about. The last thing I need is to be going back and forth with a grown man or, you know, anything like that, or company. So I try to be as easy and transparent as possible. Like, this is what's happening. This is what I'm gonna do. You know, you need me there this time, I'll be there. You know, because there's a lot of people who aren't like that. There's a lot of artists who drop one good song, or they have just one good crowd turn up for them, and all of a sudden, like, their head is just fucking, you know. And it's like, you're not that good, you know. You're but like you said, they're not consistent, you know.
Yeah.
I try to be consistent, you know. I try to be honestly, I feel like I'm a hard person to hate. I really do. I treat everybody with respect. Even like the artists that are assholes at first, it's like I still treat them with respect. There's you know, like the industry models that are always around us, and they think everybody's trying to hit on them and shit. And it's like I don't even approach them for that reason, you know. If I get introduced through people, through you, anybody, you know, hey, what's up, you know, I'm glad you're here. Like, I'm real humble and respectful. I let them know straight up, you know, this is my wife, or my wife is, you know, whatever. Like, there's a lot of people that try to snake on these models too, which is fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, so I pride myself in being easy to work with. I pride myself in knowing that I'm a hard person to hate. You know, but like you said, consistency is key. I try to be consistent, but I see that in you as well. You're always posting. You're always branding yourself out there and putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
You know, and I like that. You know, I see you just come up with some crazy visuals, and it's like, man, like, that's such a creative thought process you have. Like, I get jealous of people who have that type of mentality where they can just look at something, just create out of norm. Like, man, I can just write words. That's it, dude. I can't do all that extra stuff. Like, you guys get down. You guys earn it. You guys, you know, I'm sure it's crafted too. You guys work at it and take your time and make sure that, like you said, it's quality. Quality and consistency, like you said, are almost everything in this business with us.
Definitely.
You know, almost everything. Obviously, kind of maybe who you know at times, and that can come into factor, but for sure, consistency and quality of your work, you know. But yeah, man, I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but you know, again, thank you for all the compliments. You know, I pride myself in being that type of person, that type of artist, you know, because being nice is easy, brother. Being a good person is simple. You know, treating people with respect, and you know, it means it can make the difference in anybody's day. You know, people be having a fucked up day, and you can just say the wrong thing or be an asshole to them, and then, like, it just sets them off. Yeah. You know, but being nice, being humble, it's easy, man. You feel good. I feel good about it. You know.
Yeah.
I feel, because I feel like I'm in good company. Like, if I'm a good person, like, you're a great person. So I feel like when I'm kicking with you, like, it's like I feel like we're brothers. Like, I don't feel no type of way. If there was like a ego tripping artist, then I would have to kind of like peacock on him a little bit, and it'd be like a power thing, and you know, and it's like I don't want to do that with people, you know. So I'd rather just be around people that I'm cool with, that are genuine, that are great people, you know. And I found that with you, man. You're a great fucking person, man.
Hell yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man, you're a great person. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're doing this. I know it kind of happened almost last minute too. And for like 3 weeks now, I've had like an unfortunate run of guests where something comes up, they can't do it, and it's like I'm trying to like store some videos ahead and shit, because like going into the later months, I don't want to be bugging people around the holidays to come out and, you know, do things like that. Like, I want people to be with their family and So I'm trying to like stock up on videos, and everybody, oh, I can't now, I can't. I was like, fuck, you know. So I appreciate you being here, man. Like you really saved me on this podcast, man.
No, hell yeah, no problem. I'm down to, always help you out with whatever you got going on.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that for reals. I appreciate you being in the last video too. I can't wait for it to come out. I can't wait for people to see it. I think in every video we should have you doing your skateboarding tricks and shit, dude. I think that's gonna be fucking hard.
I'd be down.
I think that'd be so hard, dude. Because that's part of who you are too, you know. That's part of your story, and I wanna, if we can, talk about, you know, who you are, where you came from, how you became Hesh Hippie, how you started Street Savage. Like I want people to really know who you are, know about you, because I know a lot of people pop up and see you, they say what's up to show you love, but they don't really know that much, you know.
Yeah.
I want people to know about you, man. So if we can, man, let's start like, when did you start skateboarding? Because I'm assuming that started before anything, right?
Yeah, I started skateboarding at 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell in love like right away. I was riding my bike around the block, and then I was with my other like best friend growing up. His name was Jacob.
Okay.
And we were like riding the bike around the block, and they were like, "You want to play football with us?" And we're like, "Yeah, you know." So we went and we played football. And they're like, "You know how to skate?" And we're like, "Yeah, we know how to skate." And I got on my belly, and they were like,
Yeah.
"That's not skateboarding."
He can sit down and I'll push him.
Yeah. So like they started doing tricks, and I was like, "Wow, this is amazing. I really want to do this." You know, like, and they were like, "If you come every day, we'll teach you to skate. Just come kick it with us, hang out with us. We'll teach you to skate. You got to eventually get your own board, but just come hang out." So every day I ran around the corner to go skate with them, and they showed me skate videos, they showed me how to ride a board, how to push, how to do a ollie. They taught me how to go in the streets and hop fences and skate schools and wax up ledges and all that, the whole skate culture. So I started skating, fell in love with it, got my first board at like KB Toys.
KB Toys?
Yeah, at an outlet in Vegas.
Hey, a board's a board. I mean, I'm sure there's different levels and whatever, but a board's a board to start, right?
Yeah, seriously, my first ollie, my wheel snapped in half because it was so cheap.
Yeah.
It was like a clear blue wheel, and literally clean in half. I was like, yeah, like stoked, and I wasn't moving. I was rolling a little bit, but then I landed and I wasn't moving anymore, but I was just hyped. And they were laughing at me, and I was like, "Why are you laughing? I just landed my first ollie."
Yeah.
And they're like,
Cheer
"Look at
for
your
me."
wheel." Yeah, and my wheel was in half, and we all started cracking up.
I'm not trying to brag, but I just fucking, did an ollie and shit.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, this has been taking me months, So, finally, I got my own board. After that, my family helped me order it online. I got my own board that lasted me however long it lasted me, But that's how I just fell in love with it. And then I started skating different street spots for the next maybe like 3 years. I was just a street skateboarder. And then I got into high school, turned like 15, started going to the band skate park.
Okay.
And that had all the legends there. I would look up on the wall and be like, it'd say Christian Asoy, Lance Mountain, Jeff Raleigh. And then I would look down on the skate park and then be Christian Asoy, Jeff Raleigh, Lance Mountain.
Dude, that's fucking dope.
And and a lot of these guys.
Did you ever get starstruck, or you're like, I belong here? You started like jumping in with them.
Yes and no,
to
be honest, because like back in the day when a pro would go to the skate park, everyone would sit down and be like, "Oh my God, Ryan Sheckler's here. Oh my God, P-Rod's here." And people would kind of sit and like watch them skate.
Oh, okay.
Today,
like gave them like their not privacy, but like room to do their thing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Nowadays, there's a little more, hometown hero ego and things like that, and people just be skating with the pros. And, I've been skating with these people so long that they're just the homies. So when I see the pros now, like, it's just like, yo, what up? Like, Sheckler, how you doing? Like, how's the family? Like, things like that.
That's cool.
But,
who's maybe like a major influence, like a skater that you would say is like, this is my all-time GOAT, or this is my guy? Like, I watched him, I seen him, I met him, like.
So my homie, my brother till the end, Charlie Blair.
Okay.
I watched him skate as a kid, and like, I remember he skated for this brand called Chaos Skateboards, and he was like amateur. He wasn't pro, but I was like, he should be pro. Like, he's an amazing skateboarder. He's dope. He's got a vibe. Like, I love this dude. I love watching him skate. And then throughout the years, he really became my friend, and he would go up to like Dave Duncan, who's one of the biggest speakers for the skate events.
Okay.
He's one of the hosts that'll be on the mic, and you hear his voice like, "Hey, what's up?" It's all like raspy, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
Dave Duncan, and he'd
Like
go up
very
to
distinguishable.
he'd go up
Nice.
to people and be like, "Yo, Dave, this is you know, Hesh. He's coming up in skateboarding. Keep a lookout for him." Like he really introduced me to photographers, filmers, all these people who work for Thrasher, Vans.
Damn. That's dope.
Yeah, so I
cool.
had a really good unit growing up, and then by the
Mhm.
time I turned like 18, like all my friends were sponsored, or like he was one of the first writers for the High Rise, which is that cannabis company that you see around. They have like a content like mansion or a content high rise or something like that. Like they started in Santa Ana with Charlie Blair, my
Nice.
friends, the Dryson brothers, and like people like that in their circle, to where you know, I got to see some of the most amazing skateboarders and brands and people come up just because of the area that I was lucky enough to live in. So, you know, from
And also you put in the hard work and the time to
yeah.
show you belong to. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
weren't just a fan
definitely.
on the side. Like, you're a skateboarder. You get down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even
That's
in
cool.
high school, I ran cross country.
Okay.
And I would run 11 miles Monday, sprints Tuesday, um, rest Wednesday, race Thursday, rest Saturday, rest Friday, race Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
And I would go home, change after running like 11 miles, take a shower, change, go to Vans, skate till 10 o'clock.
No shit.
So it was
Damn.
like from school getting out from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. I was skating, and before that I was running like 11 miles and going to school and doing all these things. So nothing ever took me away from skateboarding. I loved it, and it was my life, and I got to be around all these pros, like I said, and all the people at the Vans indoor. And then I started meeting people that were like, let's go street skating and filming. So they would, you know, take me in the car, and they showed me how to, like, you know, light up spots, and we'd be skating a school at 3 a.m. with lights and generator and things like that, or taking a trip and driving all these other places.
That's
So
cool, man.
when I got my car and I got older, I became that for the skate community as well. You know, I was the homie driving us to skate spots and driving us to San Diego.
Kind of like giving back. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like full circle.
Mm-hmm.
They took you, and now you teach somebody else, and they're gonna take somebody else. Just keeps going. Keeps pushing that skateboarding lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's a true skate community of raw individuals that really love what they do, and we are always filming and shooting photos and getting sponsored and going on these trips, and everything that we did. If we went to go to a skate park just to go skate, we would film, get clips, make content out of it, and then sponsors and people would be giving us boards and clothing. And from the moment I was 18, I've probably spent, you know, a couple hundred, less than $1,000 on clothes since I was 18.
Yeah.
Because I've gotten so much product from people, and you know, whenever I needed a board back in the day, I would just go to the warehouse where they created the boards, and they'd give me 3. Or I would talk to the team manager, and he would be like, yo, come to San Juan, pick up some boards, and you know, I'll give you 3 boards. And do you need trucks? All right, here's these trucks I've had. And do you need some lanyards? You want some keychains? You want some shirts? Like, you know,
That's dope.
that was
man.
just the life that me and my friends were lucky enough to live. And you know, because we were a community and we really helped each other and helped each other grow and helped each other build in those ways. You know, like I had a friend, she was sponsored by Bones, and she was pro Bones wheels.
Okay.
So she would get a box of Bones wheels, and wheels are only like this thin. So like a box this big full of wheels, she had a
That's a
bunch.
lot.
So
That's a
I'd
lot.
get like, you know, I'd get like, she would sell me wheels for like $10 whenever I needed wheels.
Dude, that's
and I'd
dope.
have the newest pro, you know, wheels under my feet, things
That's
like
dope,
that.
man.
So the community of skateboarding really taught me a lot of the things that I know today, from media to helping people to marketing to having a sense of community and uplifting each other. So, you know, it's a really humbling experience that I got to be a part of, and talking to people like Ryan Sheckler when like he had his TV show on MTV, and everyone would go up to him and have this attitude just to be a cool guy and be like, oh, Sheckler is a jerk because I saw him on TV and he was a jerk, you know? And they would just have this attitude and go up to him and treat him a certain way, and then I would go up to him and be like, hey, what's up? And he was like, oh, wow, this person treats me like
nice.
a human. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I always stuck out just because I wasn't that ego-tripping person that would judge people off of a TV personality or social media.
Isn't it crazy? Like people don't know people who they really are. They'll see them, like you said, on TV or even like in life, but there's like this hate. There's like this energy where it's like, if you don't like what we're doing, you don't like who we are, then why are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you on our Instagram pages? Why are you following? Why are you watching us? Like,
yeah,
like you don't know, but you're giving us views and you're pushing our content. You're throwing us into the algorithm because you keep looking. Yeah, it's like, if you don't like us, don't fuck with us, you know?
Yeah, unfollow, don't engage, and just keep the positivity in your own lane pushing.
it's crazy that they would walk up to somebody and just be a dick like that. I see them on TV. It's like, okay, like what do you want me to do, you know?
And I seen that a lot because, like, skateboarders for a while, you know, they had transitioned into becoming mainstream celebrities. You know, we had Bam Margera, we had Sheckler on TV, we had, you know, these people really making waves in the industries. We even had Pharrell's ice cream shoes.
Oh yeah,
he had the ice cream skate
I remember.
team. You know, so it was just things like that to where.
Yeah, hip hop was always influenced with skate too, huh?
Yeah, and that's
and
how I learned.
Vice versa.
That's how I learned a lot of my music is through skate videos. I'd watch a skate video and they would have Rakim, they would have MF Doom, they would have Tupac, they would have, you know, they'd have rock bands that have Black Sabbath. It was a mix of so many different types of genres in music that everyone was allowed to be their own individual, and that's what a skate part represented and why it's so much in our hearts as skateboarders to have a skate video part rather than some Instagram clip or YouTube, because you spend months going into the streets battling this trick, you know, slamming your head, getting kicked out by security, coming back next week when the security's not there, landing your trick, you know, and then that's 10 seconds out of your video part.
Yeah.
So you have this 5-minute video part of all these different times and of your life that you went out, overcame adversity, ran from security, dodged the police, hopped that fence, grinded that, you know, ledge in the school that kids are sitting on throughout the week, but they didn't even know, like, you went on the weekend and just did this
made
amazing
some history there.
Made some history. So
yeah,
it's just
man.
That's the raw aspect of skateboarding that I love, that it embodies, and that street parts really show the heart of the skateboarder. It shows their style, where they like to skate, where they happen to be in that moment. Maybe they went on a China tour and they have some China clip.
That's cool.
You know, and then they love Tupac, so now they used Hit 'Em Up, you know, in their, and then the person watching it is like, it's like watching a music video. It's like, wow, that trick's dope. I love this song. It went with the song. It creates this whole
it's like an aura, huh?
Aura, an experience for a person to revolve around, and that's kind of with a music video, you know. For music, it's like you go to this location, you have this vibe that you have in mind. Like we had, all right, West Coast, you know, and then you went to somewhere that was local to you on the West Coast. You had a car that represents West Coast culture, like cars and lowriders and that kind of thing. And you know, it really tied into your vision of who you are as an individual, what you wanted to show to the public, and it all works when you do it the right way. Yeah, you know?
it fit. That video fit perfect. The way everything came together, and like I said, I'm glad you came out.
Yeah,
your skateboarding like definitely tied it in, because it was, West Coast is heavily influenced by skateboarding as well, and I knew that.
Yeah.
So it's like I just wanted you there. Like I told you in the messages, I don't want you to come and feel like you have to record anything, shoot footage. You know, if you don't want to skate, don't skate. But I just wanted you there in general. Yeah. You know, what you choose to do, that's completely up to you. So I'm glad you came out and did your skateboarding. I was, like I said, it just brought the video even more together, made it more cohesive, you know?
Yeah.
And what people don't know yet, but they're going to come to find out, you know, if they get this far, that we dedicated that video to autism awareness.
Yep. So
we had a couple autistic people there too. So it's like, you know, giving back, doing our thing. And and a good thing too is now skateboarding, because I'm not sure exactly how the skateboarding works as far as like promoting awareness and charities and stuff like that. I'm sure they do, but like now we can tie hip hop music, we can tie skateboarding now into like giving back to mental health, autism awareness, whatever it is. Like we can give back and do more as a collective now,
Yeah.
So that's why I'm glad you came out and did your thing, man.
No, that was really fun, and then I'm happy to be able to be a skateboarder, and I take pride in me consistently skateboarding because like
you skateboard every day still.
As much as I can. With all the media that I do and being a dad and all the things that I'm going on, like I skate maybe a few times to once a week now.
Okay.
But still, because I've skated so long, I could just hop on a board and do a tray flip some stair sets and hop on a handrail, and it doesn't affect me as much as when I was a kid and I didn't skate for a week and then I lost kick flips and I'm like, what the fuck?
You have to relearn different things.
Yeah.
And, like foot placement, fundamentals, basic.
Exactly.
Because I'm sure there's like balancing, there's foot placement, all those other even probably like the shoes you have to wear.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's a lot that goes into it, man.
Yeah, even the other day I went to go skate and I wore shoes that I wasn't hyped on, and I was like, internally I was like, am I losing it? But it's like, no, it's just when
shoes.
When you have
shoes.
things that are on point, then it works. Like in the music video, I wore the shoes that I wore in the music. I had around my neck in the music video a while ago, and
those shoes were fly, though. They were fly.
They're fresh. That's why I didn't want to wear them too much too. But then I was like, you know what? For this music video, I'm gonna try to skate them because they look fresh.
Yeah.
And then I was skating them, and I was like, these feel really good to skate. Like these are
Nice.
great. These are great shoes.
Yeah.
I should have skated these a long time ago. But
just kind of like found place, huh?
Uh-huh.
Man, it's crazy how the universe just works, man. Things usually fall in place. A lot of times we go through shit and whatever, but like there's times we just get blessed, and how we're looking back at it right now, it's like, man, like every aspect was just working. Like that was a blessed day, man. That was cool.
Yeah, that was the first time I wore those shoes to skate, like and roll on a board at all in maybe like 3 years, and I just put them on my feet, started doing tray flips and kick flips, and I was like, all right, these are great.
This is good,
like,
huh?
yeah, this usually doesn't happen with just shoes you throw on for one day. It takes a little break.
Do you prefer skating? Well, I guess it might depend on the sole too, but like do you prefer skating in like Vans and Chucks, real thin like shoes like that, or like the thick padded ones? Because I remember back in the day I don't know if they're like DVS or Etnies or something, they're just like real thick shoes.
I like thick shoes. I like it's called a cup sole construction.
Okay.
So they do two constructions in skateboarding. It's vulcanized, where they get a piece of rubber and they put it to the bottom of the shoe, and then they get like a foxing tread and they melt it together to make it one piece.
Okay.
And then there's a cup sole construction to where it's a thick piece of rubber. And that is just the bottom of the shoe, one piece. You just slap that on.
Got it. Okay.
And I prefer cup sole because it's thicker. You don't feel your board as much, but that means I could stomp down my feet when I'm jumping down 10 stairs or however long.
Kind of protects your feet a little more, huh?
Way more protection.
Cushion. Yeah. That's true. I remember those shoes being comfortable because I bought 2 pair back to back.
Yeah.
I wore them. They're all white shoes, real thick, and I remember loving them. And then however long went by and they got messed up, I was like, I'm just gonna go buy these same ones because they're so comfortable. So comfortable. Yeah. So that makes sense, especially when you're doing tricks, jumping stairs and shit, man.
Yeah.
I jump like. I'll run and like these little steps right here. Fuck, my feet hurt now. So for you to be doing it on a skateboard is crazy, bro.
The vulcanized shoes, like if you step on a rock, it'll feel. You'll feel it. Like it's one of they call it board feel, but it's feeling of the ground, and it's such a thin sole you literally feel more.
Yeah.
So the cup sole construction, when you're walking, when you're just everyday use, skateboarding taught me the importance of insoles. So the impact control, having a good gel insole that takes away impact, that doesn't affect your back, your knees, your joints as much.
It's a lot of like heavy impact, huh? Non-stop, just even if you're not like jumping steps, the fact you're still just jumping and landing on a board.
Yeah. Landing on the board is key. If for people who kick out skateboarding, they're doing a lot more to their body than they realize, because they're taking all the impact to their feet rather than your board is meant to disperse weight and impact. So if you land bolts, you'll probably, and you have a good amount of speed, for your trick. If I'm jumping down a 10 stair, I got to go pretty fast. But the speed counteracts your impact going straight up and down force. It's like science,
Yeah.
So like you throw a ball straight down, it's going to like bounce up and down and be really rough. but if you skip it, it's gonna like do little skips across the ground. So it's kind of, you try to do that with your body.
Got it. No,
as crazy as that sounds.
No, that makes sense. You know, that makes sense, because the one thing you don't want to do is just a free fall. Bam. You know, I get that. That's cool.
So I try to skate fast. So even if I'm going fast on a flat ground, I do a kickflip. I land and I'm rolling away smooth. It's consistent with the speed, and it just scientifically makes sense for me to roll away.
Have you ever had any major injuries?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've watched my elbow, this arm go 90 degrees to the right.
Oh my goodness.
And I had to hold my arm up in place till I got put out.
Dislocated, broken, what happened there?
They said dislocated, but I mean, it was pretty much a full dislocation, you know?
Yeah.
If that, because I watched my arm go like 90 degrees, and then I tried to move it, and it just like, it literally made a noise like, and I was like, all right, I'm done. And I had to hold this, and my bone was like jello in my arm,
goodness.
you know? So I had to hold it till I got help at the hospital, and then after that,
so I'm assuming maybe falling backwards and trying to catch yourself.
Yeah, I was skating. I was doing what they call like a fakie tray flip. So I was skating backwards, and then when I slipped out, because I was I was backwards on my board, I was switch, instead of having my left hand that would slip back, and I knew how to like hold it. My right hand slipped back and like hyperextended it completely out of place.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, when you skateboard, let's say you're like I'm right-footed.
Yeah.
If I kick a ball, it's my right foot. So if I was to hop on a skateboard, does a right foot go on the front or go on the back?
Your right foot, it depends on what you're comfortable with. Your right foot probably would go forward. That's what I skate. They call it goofy. You know, I like to call it G-footed. But
yeah, like, G-footed. We're not goofy. We're
right?
G-footed.
We ain't goofy, but you know,
don't label me, guys.
But it's one of those things to where it's just kind of preference. You know, in baseball, I threw right-handed and batted left-handed. Oh, okay. So I was, you know,
pretty ambidextrous, huh?
Yeah.
So left and right foot too, huh? Right hand. No.
Yeah. When it comes to skating, it's like almost translates into the same thing, you know, like right foot pushing, and then like when I do tricks, like I said, the fakie going backwards, I can do a lot of tricks easily like that, off of drops, off of like, you know, things like that. So
when you get into a fight, do you punch with your right or your? No, I was kidding.
I go ambidextrous.
I'll fuck you up with either,
because then you can't let them, you know, expect your moves, you know.
Yeah,
you have to always
keep them surprised, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You're just gonna get hit. You don't even know.
Right. And then falling so much skateboarding and things like that, I'm used to getting hit, you know. So it's just
This is definition of thrasher right now. That's cool, man.
But I love it. I was thinking of doing boxing or something like that, UFC, but it's like
it's fun. It's addicting.
It's hard for me to hurt someone for no reason. Yeah. But if someone like, you know, I know how to hurt people, you know, like that's why I don't like to fight my friends, because I think of it as like, if I were to punch someone and they hit their head on the curb and they die, like, now I just killed my homie.
Yeah,
you know? You don't fight your friends, you know, you fight those who are, you know, the people that are really out there trying to hurt you or the people around you or do bad things, you know what I'm saying? So I like to be more of the Robin Hood, the bully to the bullies.
Yeah, you know? I respect that. I used to box years ago. I boxed for like a solid 7-8 years. Yeah. On and off for, you know, a couple years after. Like, even now I still have a bag now, so hit the bag every now and then. Yeah. But like before when I was, you know, doing what I was doing, there was always drama going on, always issues, whatever. Yeah. Once I got into boxing and I realized, okay, I know what I can do, I know who I can hurt. It's like it completely like mellowed me and calmed me. Yeah. And I haven't been into any issues or scuffles, nothing like that since. Yeah. Because it's like before, you would kind of act out of fear, like, oh man, if something happens, I'm just gonna start whatever, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah, that's self-defense.
Now, like, when things pop off, even at these events we're at, you know, people start getting rowdy, or, you know, you start seeing people look at you sideways, or, you know, you get different vibes, different feels or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, because we're in such like hostile environments at times. Everybody's turned and wants to get turned. It's like, you know, you watch your surroundings, but now I'm in these positions where I'm like, I'm so comfortable in these positions though.
Yeah.
Because it's like I see how homeboy's standing, I see how this person's doing this or that, and it's like, I know I just got to do a quick pivot, you know, a quick step back, and
Yeah.
but it's like I see that, and it's like I don't get, like before I might have been in these environments like, man, fuck, I hope nothing pops off. Now it's like, if it pops off, I'm cool, I'm ready, you know,
Right.
cool. Yeah.
I know where to move. I know how to maneuver. I know what I need to do in these situations to make sure
man.
I'm safe, my people are good, and if I need to defend myself, I know how to defend myself. Like it's one of those. It's that comforting feeling to where it's like, okay, I'm in control of
like
this.
I have that confidence because like I know how to like pop a jab.
Yeah.
I know how to block and throw, like catch and throw. You know, I know how to do certain things. And like street fights, they don't ever go like a sparring match or boxing.
Yeah.
So it's like I know if I can just land that one clean shot, I'm good.
Right.
Because a lot of times, if you land that one clean shot, they get fucking like shook and like they don't want to fight no more, or you just drop them and then, you know, their homies, oh, you're done type of thing. You know. Right. So it's like now I went from being fearful of like that type of confrontation to now it's like I'm just confident. I'm cool and I'm confident.
Yeah.
You know, because growing up, I was always the bigger kid because I was really overweight. I was like 250, but I never worked out.
Oh, okay.
So I was just chunky, real chunky. So I was always bigger than everybody else. So like when shit would pop off, oh yeah, my homie has my back, and I was a big homie. It's like, I guess I got your back, right? You know, like I never try to start problems, but I always got brought into people's shit because I was always bigger than everybody. So it's like, if I got to do what I got to do, whatever, it is what it is. But like those times I was always like nervous or like stressed, like, man, I don't want to do this, but it's going to happen. You know, but like now it's like, if that happened now, cool, I'm ready. Let me know. You know? I'll be here in the cut, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Boxing, MMA, all that, that's really good training though. Really good training. You feel those are the type of things, like I'm sure with skateboarding, after you're done doing your session, you're like, man, I feel good. You know? Yeah. Same thing with boxing and all that. Like, even if you get beat up in sparring or whatever, it's like, you know what, I feel good though. This was a good workout today.
Yeah. Even like I took a couple classes at a UFC gym that was next to me when I was there, and like the sparring like section where you have to hit the bag and you have to kick the bag, like I wasn't even like really trying, and I was making that bag fly. So I was just like, you know, the people who were putting on the entire event, they were like, we really want you to come back. You know, they were like hyped on me. They're like, yo, this guy's different, you know, because I've been an athlete my entire life. You know?
I was just say because you used to do your long distance running, and because you skateboard, like I'm sure you have like power in your legs, and like because that's where like the power comes from, to hit and to kick. Like everything starts in the legs. So for you, I'm sure you can like really fuck somebody up, or like throw a kick where like it wouldn't hurt you.
Yeah,
now,
if I knock someone down, if I kick them in the face, they're done. Yeah, you know, just snapping their neck.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But yeah, like you're saying though, like you don't want to hurt people, you know. And I'm the same
that's
way.
What I mean. I know how to, but I don't want to.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. Like I don't want to just fight because I can. Like it's just, it was just all self defense. No, I don't hurt people, man. I don't want that karma on me. I don't want that karma around my people. I don't want to be looking back years from now over my shoulder like, man, I fucked this guy up, or he was part of this crew, and you know, like
so people, you know, like later on, like they might even become like chiller people, you know. They might even become like the homie down the line. You're like, oh, we were just in a stupid argument back then. You know, that was nothing. And then, but if you get in a fight, you're like, you know what? You know, there's that fool
on site,
right? It's on site.
On
you
site.
Know what I'm saying? But I think growing up where I grew up helped me a lot too, because, you know, it was like the first time I had someone in my life, like at like a school, die from like getting shot was like in middle school. You know, the first time I had a gun pulled on me was in middle school. You know, skating around the city, like we had to decide, okay, do we want to go through this park? Okay, we're gonna go through the park to take a shortcut. All right, now there's a gang in this park. You know, we gotta learn to maneuver around these people. You know.
In the skateboarding community, is there like gangs and cliques too, where you can beef with once, or is everybody pretty much like, hey, we're skateboarders, this is what we do? Once
you're a skateboarder, but people put a lot of skate parks in the hoods because it creates a sense of community. It gives them something to look forward to. It gives them something to not be gangbanging in the hood. You know, even like where I'm from, Ponderosa Park. I try to uplift the skaters there and be there as much as I can.
They turned that park around, huh?
Yeah, they turned
it around big time.
Big time.
And
And
like a community center there now, right?
yeah, it's really much, there's a big community that goes there, but people there, I love it. They're down. They're used to it, If there's ever, shots popping off or something like that and the kids are playing in the park, they kind of like look and they're like, oh, the gunshots aren't close by. All right, back to playing. It's just one of those things. They don't make a big deal out of it. It's they go through a lot, and I got a lot of love for that community. Because it's a true community. People come, you see them all the time. They respect you. Whether it's the people from the neighborhood or they do graffiti art or they're a skateboarder, they're a mom. They just take their kids to the park. Everyone comes up, they talk, they vibe, they kick it, and it's a true community. As long as you're not causing problems, then they ain't got to regulate. But respect is given where respect is shown, and I'm a big believer in that. So I always showed them respect. I always had love for them, and they've always showed me love at the same time. So
do you still frequent right now? You still go there right now, skate and get down?
Yeah, I just went the other day to Ponderosa Park, or I'll go on the hood day. So all the homies go out and barbecue.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
Yeah, I'll go and kick it at the barbecue with all the homies, and they're some of the people that even just tag or kick it around the neighborhood. They're the ones that actually went into meetings with the city of Anaheim and got 1,500 signatures on a petition to get the skate park built, and
that's cool.
They really helped turn that community around single-handedly, the people that I'm friends with.
When I wasn't like living like across the street or near, but I was like a couple blocks up. So I remember when there was no skate park. I remember the community center was
the six stairs. Yeah, the six stairs in the little park right there.
Yeah,
in the cut.
So I remember that, and it's cool that the OGs, because there's people that have been there for their life, lifers right there, and it's cool that they're like, you know what, we want this for the park, we want this for the community, we want this,
Yeah.
So because for a little bit there, Ponderosa Park had a rough identity, but now it's like it's community based now, and that's a good thing. That's a real good thing. Everything's for the kids, man.
Yeah.
Everything for the kids. Whatever you can do to give back to the future generation, the ones that are to take over, and it sucks, but inherit this kind of fucked up world we're living in. If we can make it any easier for them during that transition, it's good that they did that for them.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, I love the Ponderosa community so much. That's I was just literally kicking it there
that's home base,
2 days ago, yeah, and it was just the people there just always really positive and cool. I got to bring they know my son. They got to, a lot of the people from the neighborhood saw my son grow up.
You got your son skateboarding too, or not yet?
He's getting into it more.
Nice.
I try not to push him into anything he doesn't want to do, but
just let him figure it out himself right now, right?
Yeah, but
be his own person.
Yeah, but he is getting hyped on it, and then I do have a little homie for him to skate with, my friend's son. So he's now has someone to do something with and get hyped on it with, and have that excitement to ride a skateboard. So I'm excited for that. To get him really rolling. He's baptized by Christian Hosoi, which he was in the.
You're not talking about professional skateboarder, are you?
No, yeah, he was the top skateboarder when in the 80s and went going against Tony Hawk, things like that. He was the party dude, got all the girls, had style, did his tricks. If you look at his old Santa Cruz skate part from the 80s called I'm pretty sure it's the Streets on Fire video. Okay. He's doing things it's on a green screen ad for Target. He's going out of a 12-foot ramp, doing a trick 5 feet in the air, looking at the camera, sticking his tongue out, posing it in air, stylish, 1 foot off the board.
That's crazy.
And then landing into that 12-foot ramp again. And then doing another trick, doing 10
That's
tricks
crazy.
in a row. He was one of the greatest skateboarders to watch.
My brother, I'm gonna tell you this: I couldn't jump off this table and do all that. Let alone with a skateboard. That's crazy.
And it, look in the camera and look and kick your foot out fully all the way and stick your tongue out and then back to focused on the board. That's insane to be able to do. And he's who baptized my son, because there was a point where I had went to jail. I hit someone with a board when I was like 21. That mellowed me out a lot. What I'm saying?
Got humble, no?
Yeah, definitely humbled myself. But when I started going to church, I was like, I want to go to a church that's like involves skateboarding. So I started to go to his church, and he embraced me. He was the first one to pray for me, So I stopped going to church. Years later, I met the mother of my child, and she wanted to start going to church. So I was like, all right, we're going there. And then they happened to have baptisms. So I was like, let's get our son baptized, So I went to go get him baptized, and Hosoi just happened to be doing baptisms that day. And, my son's baptized by one of the most legendary skateboarders
Dude, that's
to walk
dope.
this planet.
Yeah, man.
So I'm so honored to have always wanted to skate and do that with my life. And now my son gets to be baptized and brought into that world that, I learned to love and grow and build my name and, all my notoriety. And like a lot of the music videos that I've been a part of or things in my life have always revolved around, skateboarding and things. So
What about for yourself? Have you been baptized? Have you or been dedicated or whatever they call it?
I got myself baptized,
Okay.
especially after that when I hit a dude with the board. I was like, what, I need to cleanse myself. I need to, be at peace mentally, physically. So,
And how do you feel since then? Like, do you think you found that peace and
yeah, definitely.
like what you were kind of, I guess, searching for?
Yeah, definitely.
That's
And I
cool.
feel like at that point, I did have a falling out with the church and things like that. So I learned that, like everyone has their own relationship with God, like
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
people who are drinking and like getting fucked up and like look at you bad for smoking and things like that. I learned to just embrace myself, and lead with good intention. And in all reality, everybody's human. I don't care if you're a gangbanger or a stripper or anything like that. That's why I created Street Savage TV, is because through skateboarding it taught me to embrace everyone. Once you're a skateboarder, doesn't matter if you're a girl, you're a guy, if you transition to like, I want to see you hard flip.
That's it.
Like, let me see your hard flip.
Yeah.
Like, that's all that matters. I
just
care.
want to see you do a trick.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
did what? I can wait. You
Like-
robbed what? Don't worry about that.
Right? Yeah,
Oh.
we want to see you trying. We want to see you trying to be a better individual. We want to see you trying to learn something, to progress, to enjoy your time in front of you. Like, all those
Dude, imagine
show character.
it's like, hey Hesh, I just fucking got into a car accident and I fled the scene, and on the way I ran and did this and that and blah blah blah, and then I ran over this dog and you're like, but can you ollie?
Right?
Imagine, but,
Right?
But can you ollie right now? Yeah?
Right?
Like,
let me see a tray flip, and then I'll decide if you're a good person.
We'll go back to what you just said right now. Let me see this kick flip.
Right? No, the skate industry is a mix of all types of
Walks of
different
life,
people.
huh?
Yeah, so
That's
it's
cool.
just like like I said, like people are just human in my eyes. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like everybody has made mistakes. Everybody has, done. There's things that are gonna happen that you don't even predict to happen. Like when I went to jail, I didn't expect to go to jail. I didn't go out with the intention to hurt anybody that day. I didn't go out with the intention to do anything but skate and have a good time with my homies.
If you don't mind me asking, how long did you have to stay in jail?
60 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was either 60 days with a felony and a strike or a year in prison. But I wasn't going to take a year away from skateboarding and doing the things that I loved. I was like, that's too much time away from my life and progress, for me to feel content with myself.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to do this and take this, I guess you'd call it a deal, It's like all about business. At the end of the day, like, if I were to hit him, if he hit me first, it would have been self-defense. So it's almost like a game you play with the system, That's why people are like, push me, and then they you push them and then they swing on you because legally it's self-defense.
They got
you.
Yeah.
You know. So it's like a little game everyone's playing in life.
If you don't mind talking about it, like how did that situation all transpire? If not, if you know, you can't. That's...
Oh no, it's the dude. I was at the skate park and he was like, "Hey, get the fuck out of the way of the rail," and I was like, "What? Like if you do something gnarly, I'm down," you know. So he, you know, I did move. He didn't get a chance to go because it was a super busy day, and like he kept on getting pissed off. He was like kicking his board out off of like the stairs, shooting it like off of the stairs so it could like hit someone's face or like nail someone, you know, like but he was in this self-centered mentality like I can't skate. You're in my way.
Yeah.
You know? And I had never seen this dude before. I was a local at the skate park. So I was like, man, who the fuck is this guy? You know?
Yeah.
So he's like kicking his board out of kids, like all these people, like these are my people. I'm here every day. I know these kids coming to, you know, get skate lessons. You know, these kids are 10, 8, 5. You're kicking your board out at these kids. Like, that ain't cool, you know? Like I said, like, I'm the bully to the bullies. I'm Robin Hood, you know? I was like, I ain't having this. So, it got to a point where, like, I let it go for, like, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And then I was like, I was going to go skate the bowl, and he was over at the bowl, like, getting in a fight. And I was like, bro, this isn't your skate park. You can't be out here, you know, telling people who can't skate what, where they can't skate, what they're doing. I've never even seen you here. You're not even a local.
At the skate, at the skate parks, is it like is there like an unwritten rule like, hey, if these guys are already jumping in the bowl or whatever, like just let them do their thing and get out?
Yeah.
So like you kind of just give them, like, let them work on their trick real quick, and then like eventually they know people are waiting, they'll hop out, like it kind of rotates.
Yeah, it's like a courtesy, like don't take a 10-minute skate run because everyone's trying to skate. Get in, try a new trick, because if you try a new trick, you're probably going to fall. And if you do happen to learn the new trick, everyone's hyped on you. So, like, don't just do all your basic tricks and pump around the bowl for 10 minutes when everyone's just watching you.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of that type of thing to where it's like a courtesy thing. Like, do your tricks, get in, get out.
And kind of watch the next person, let them do their thing.
Yeah,
okay.
Don't take every turn. Don't hop out of the bowl and then because you messed up on a trick and then just hop back in the bowl. Like, that's, like, disrespectful. You know, things like that. But he was already getting a fight. I was like, look, you can't do this, blah, blah, blah. I was like, you know, and I was, like, telling him stuff. And then he got, like, nose to nose with me. Like, literally, like, his nose touched my nose. And I was like, I had never had anyone do that to me. I was like, I ain't having this. I was like, so I had my board in my hand already, and like soon as he backed away, I just whacked him in the face with my board. He went down.
Damn.
Right? And then I guess he, you know, he needed to get like part of his nose was like hanging off because I hit him hard, and like you need to get like face reconstructed, shit like that. But
damn,
you know, hopefully he learned his lesson that day. You know, I learned a lesson to self-control, and he learned a lesson to not disrespect people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, I mean. Although I have a felony to strike, you know, everything happens for a reason. And, you know, he learned his lesson. After that, I started going to church. You know, I became closer to God. I, you know, got my son. My son wouldn't have been baptized by his soy if that didn't happen. Like, you know, a lot of things happened very much on a path, like, aligned out of my control. It seems sometimes, you know, it is completely in my control, but you know,
when he went down, did you like have any second thoughts to jump on him again? You're like, I just hit him. He's good. Or?
No, he was done. I hit him, and then there was like, I looked in his eyes, and there was a moment of like rage, like, I'ma hit you. And then there was another, like, after that rage hit, and maybe blood started rushing to his head, and he was like bleeding. He was just like, he dropped.
No shit.
And I was like, I'm out. Did my job. But
and then I'm assuming he called the cops on you?
He couldn't call the cops because he was bleeding on the ground, so I'm sure other people did. But I didn't get taken in until 6 months later.
What?
Yeah. I ended up driving away. As I drove away, sirens started coming. I got home. I was like, I'm gonna get arrested right now. You know, I was laying in bed waiting for the police. Nothing happened for 6 months, and my aunt got a call from a private investigator, and they're like, we need you to come in. And I was like, oh shit, this is real, you know? So yeah. I wrote a note about everything that happened, put it on the car door, went in, and then they were like, you know why you're here? I was like, no. And they were like, you know right here? I'm like, no. And they're like, well, people are saying that, you know, you did something we can't actually say. And I was like, all right, well, am I being detained? And they were like, no. I was like, okay, so I could leave. And they're like, not without a warrant. And I was like, so I'm being detained. And they were like, yes. And I was like, all right. So I sat back down. I was like, so what's up? Why am I here? And they're like, okay, well, people are saying that you did this, and they could, you know, they said there's videos. They said that people will pick you out of police lineup, you know, and this and that. And I was like, all right, well, you know, that happened, you know, like, that's true. Like, there was no way for me to leave, you know. And then after that, I got booked into Maine. I was there for a week. I got bailed up on my mom. Fought the case for years, maybe like 3-4 years. Wasn't able to get self-defense. So the guy said that I walk up to him, said that this is locals only, and hit him with my board. So, of course. So
didn't happen to mention him being unsafe, kicking the board out at people, kids.
He skipped over he skipped over a couple key aspects, but you know what I'm saying.
Were you able to like say, no, this is what really happened, or they didn't even give you a chance to speak?
I had a lawyer, so of course I was talking to my lawyer about everything, things like that, you know. But I tried to fight for my life pretty much, and you know, but in all reality, they do it by like the court laws, you know. So it's like it's a game. Like, okay, well, you hit him first, so it's this. He has great bodily injury, so that's an enhancement. He used a weapon, so that's assault with a deadly weapon. You know, it's all legal terms.
Did they try to be like, attempted murder too, all that bullshit, or they didn't?
No, they didn't go that far. So
that'd be fucked up, dude.
Yeah, but I think
I'll show you attempted murder.
Yeah, I would have been pissed. But
yeah, man.
You know, so that was a big thing in my life that, you know, I had to mentally go through. You know, like even after hitting him with the board, like it made like a noise hitting him. You know, so like that noise like played in my head for like, I don't know, maybe weeks of like just hitting him. Then,
when you swung the board, did you intentionally know, man, I'm gonna crack him right in the face, or did you go for his head, or you just swung and it hit him how it hit him?
I just swung. Like I had it in my hand already. Like, you know, like I said, grew up around the area where they pull guns on you, and you know, like it's a street fight. You hit them.
Yeah.
You know, your goal is to knock them down and hurt them. You know, I've seen videos of some of my homies, you know, jumping people or beating up people, even like younger homies who are like 16, and you know, they get them. But but at the same time, you know, that's just what I came from, is like, if you're trying to harm me and hurt me, I'm going to take you down, you know. Like regardless, like whatever I gotta do, everything's a weapon. A spoon is a weapon, pencil's a weapon, chair is a weapon, you know. Like a pole stuck in the ground is a weapon if you bash their head into it, you know. Like it's just things like that, that's just reality. And you know, that was just where my mind was at. Like I had my board in my hand, I'm gonna hurt you. You know, that was that. And then he went down, and 6 months later I went down.
Yeah, it's crazy it took that long.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm sure probably like the first couple of days, like it would have been hard to sleep and just.
It was crazy. It was a lot
like
to mentally
anxiety.
go through.
Yeah.
And then even in jail, it was a lot. Like, you know, even some of the people that would come up to me, they're like, yo, you're harder than half the people in here, you know. Like half the people in here for DUIs and things like that.
For fuck almost killing somebody.
Yeah, this dude always smiling, all happy and stuff in the corner, like, don't mess with that guy, you know what I'm saying? But
and when you were in, nobody fucked with you, you were cool?
No, nobody fucked with me. It was everyone's pretty respectful as long as you have respect. It's like in the streets, you know. Respect is given where respect is shown is a very big factor, you know, in the streets. And in when you're locked up. I feel like that's the main thing, you know. As long as you respect everybody, you respect the rules, you're not bigger than the program. Don't be a reason or it'll get boobop. You know, you're good. You know, don't be the reason. Don't be the reason your thing gets tossed up. You know, one person messes up, they're gonna trash your entire 6-man section, and that person just used the money his parents gave him for commissary, or his girl he gave him, and got all these snacks, and now because you messed up, the wardens came in and smashed all the snacks.
That's fucked up, dude.
And then ripped off the pictures of his wife and tore them into pieces.
That's fucked up.
And took your bed and threw it on the ground, and your pillow that you just bought with your commissary, because you get one pillow and you're not using toilet paper to lay your head down anymore, and now they took your toilet paper and they took this, and you're out of everything because this one idiot made a big deal out of something. You know, so you don't want to be the reason, you know, and just because you fuck up doesn't mean you're an idiot. You can fuck up doing something you don't even mean doing, you know, but it's just one of those things where it's like, don't be the reason, or else, you know, you could even have people in different areas to where it's like you could have a Mexican guy, Asian guy, a black guy, and they all run with different, you know, the Asians run with Asians, the blacks run with blacks, you know, well, Asian brothers and others, but, you know, the Mexicans, you know, the paisas run with the paisas, and that's the way it is. So if you get tossed up, now you have these other races and people looking at you like, now you messed up my homie stuff.
You're
now
a problem.
you know, now you got bigger problems then. You know, so it's all about respect. It's all about staying with the program, doing what you got to do to just make it out. You know, like everyone's trying to get out. Everyone's trying to see their families. Everyone's just trying to live and eat. And you know,
I know somebody that was locked up last year or earlier this year, and I'm not gonna say their name, but they called me from the thing, and told me, oh man, I almost messed up. And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, you know, this is my second day in or whatever, the first chance I get to make a phone call. And he goes, I didn't know that even the phone banks were assigned to Asians, brothers, and others.
Yeah.
He goes, I seen an open phone, I grabbed it, and he goes, but they were cool with me. They told me, hey man, this is Asians, you know, you're on others. You got to make sure you grab those phones. He's, oh, I'm so sorry, this and that. But it's like, how you say, you know, just be respectful, do what you have to do. Yeah. So hearing that, like, it makes even more sense now, because I was like, man, is it that like political inside, and you know?
Yeah, it is political, but at the same time, like, they do regulate it like that. They will give you a chance. You know, they'll be like, look, man, you just got in here. You don't know the rules. Yeah. But this is the way it is, and if you mess up again, we're gonna have to send you to the wall, and you might have to run a fade or two. You know?
He was even kind of given like not a care package, but like he got in and they took him. Like, hey man, we got this for you. Get set up. You know?
No, they really do take care of you though. The people in your race and things. That's the job, is to make sure that your people are taken care of. You run the program. You know, like if you're run with like the Mexicans and things like that. Yeah. You got program time every day. You better be doing your burpees, your push-ups, and all that stuff with everybody, because if you don't, then they're gonna be like, yo, get up and do it, and you're like, I don't want to do it. Then you're gonna have to run a fade. You know, so it's things like that to where it's like, just keep the program moving. You know, we're all in here trying to get out. We all have these set rules that we're trying to live by. You know, there's a lot of people from the gang worlds and things like that, to where those rules keep everyone safe and protected and rolling smoothly. So
yeah, he even said like obviously the food shit. But he's like, man, he goes, I always knew the food was shit in here. He goes, but when I was in, man, he goes, because I don't know anybody that was really cooking like that yet. You know, because people get their commissary and, you know, do what they have to do. Yeah. He was like, but because I was still new, I didn't know nothing. He goes, for like 2-3 days, man, it was just shit food, just shit.
Yeah. I had my birthday in jail.
No shit.
Yeah. I had a birthday. They made me a cake with like, what is it, like ho-hos, and like all these other
Like the
items.
snack cakes, do they like smash them together or just make them layered?
You layer it up,
Mhm.
and then like they
Peanut
have, like,
butter and
peanut
shit,
butter,
yeah.
put it on, or like, whatever they
Crunch up the M&Ms.
Yeah, but it was awesome. It was bomb. I appreciated it, and it was
Yeah.
really cool that I had something. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
have family. I didn't get to go skate with my homies, have an event, do anything. I was just there with whoever I was there with, but they made it the best they could for me.
That's cool,
so I
man.
appreciated it.
Yeah, dude. Not too long ago, last year, I made a swole sandwich. Made the was it the burrito or the tamale? Smash the chips, the water, put the meat in there, all that. I'll make that shit every now and then. It's high in sodium, so like it's kind of like fuck to eat it so often. But every now and then it ain't bad,
Yeah.
Every now and then it ain't bad.
A few moments later.
All right, and just like that, we are back.
Yeah.
My brother, okay, so we left off with talking about your upbringing, talking about how you got into skateboarding, different areas you skated, people you came across, how it kind of transitioned to a pretty significant part of your life where you ended up doing a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to know is, because you are successfully running a business called Street Savage TV.
Yes.
I want to know how that all transitioned, how you turned all that negative to the positive, because there's some people that are out here trying to like discover their path, try to figure out a way to do better, be better.
Yeah.
So before we get you out of here today, if we can, I would love to talk to you about Street Savage TV.
Yeah.
Kind of like how it got started, how it maybe a transition from one to the next thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you can elaborate on the Street Savage TV for me.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about that, because I get a lot of, questions from other videographers and people at these events that see me. They're like, hey, I love your work. I love what you do. They come at me with love, but they're like, how did you get here? How are you getting booked?
Hey, you got
for
fire
every event?
content, man. You got some fire ass videos.
Thank you.
You got some fire content, dog.
It's from the judgmental skate industry. In skateboarding, everything is judged. The clothes you wear, the sponsors you have, the way you land your tricks. If your toe touches, that doesn't count. You have to be on your board completely perfect, feet on the bolts, has to look clean. You can't move your arms crazy or else that looks dumb. You don't want to have a small clothing sponsor, because who's that? They want to see Volcom, they want to see Nike, they want to see America, they want to see Etnies. They want to see.
Do you think Volcom will sponsor a rapper? Tell them I said what's up.
They do have. I was working for a retail Volcom store for a little bit, and they were talking about bringing back a Volcom Entertainment.
That's crazy.
So
that's crazy.
If they do start signing artists under Volcom, and I mean, I'm sure they have like legacy brands that they really support throughout the years, but they used to really be in the forefront of music and signing artists and putting out music, things like that. So I think in the near future, they will possibly be interested in getting some, things
we can do
like
Volcom, Marc the Franchise, Street Savage kind of collab going. You know what I'm saying?
that. Yeah, that'd be
hard.
dope.
That'd be hard, man.
And like with so with music and everything, people kind of thought it was random for me to get into it, but like throughout skateboarding, I've always been booked for music videos and things like that. My first music video was when I was about 21, 22, and it was for Sony.
Oh, nice.
Brayton Bowman, who sung the song Puff Puff Pass, he wanted a music video, so he hired me and Leah Taylor as the skateboarders for the shoot.
Nice.
And there was another skateboarder booked, but he actually he was a skateboarder, but he didn't know how to skate. He scootered.
Oh.
So he ended up
damn.
riding a scooter in the video, but things like that, to where skateboarding, because of that, it's always been my talent, and because I just so happen to look good doing it. People like how I look skating. They book me for these different things. I got booked for the Sony music video. I got booked for I believe his name was like El Tigre or something like that. One of my friends, homies who did rap, he had us in his music video. Just over the years, I've just been asked to be in different projects and different lanes, and I always loved what I do. Cannabis companies would hit me up to do promo like Ash Loudspeakers. They invited me to a mansion party with Baby Goth.
That's cool.
In
Cool.
in Malibu. Yeah, I had like an infinity pool looking over Malibu. Had to
That's
drive up this
crazy.
windy road. I got invited to another 2-story mansion party, after that from another company where they had like massages and like you know, like a therapy session.
And that was just to go and like vibe with everybody. Or they wanted you to skate for people.
They wanted me to just go and like vibe with everyone,
Okay.
but they knew me as a skateboarder.
That's cool.
So, they would always be like, oh, you skateboard and you smoke and you do this and that. Maybe we could use you for these different things or come to this event. And, Ash Loudspeakers ended up using me for an ad. I've done things for Tough Mama Weed. They used to pay me to do their skate promo for their
dope.
cannabis
That's dope.
products and things like that. So over the years, I was always building my name as an individual, as a skateboarder, as an influencer. The media world started to take a liking of me in that sense, so they started booking me for the music videos and photo shoots and things. So when it came to the point to where I started getting older and I wanted to create something for the people around me, I created Street Savage TV, and initially it was like, I'm gonna do media and tie everything that I love together. I want to start throwing events to where I have a skate section, I have a cannabis section, I have rap artists, I have these other people around me, and it's really important that I stay in that mindset and lane, because there's so many people wanting skateboarding a part of things these days, wanting all these other aspects of skateboarding to be involved, but they don't skate. Or maybe they skated for like 2 or 3 years, they didn't really love it and they fell out of it, and now they're trying to make money off of skating, so now I'm here to really be that regulating force and be like, no, you ain't valid.
Yeah.
Like, you using all of us for money.
Yeah.
And the people that you're bringing in, you're just saying, oh, just come skate. You're not even bringing in the people that really have a passion for skateboarding and have been going to these different events and would love to have an opportunity like this.
Yeah.
Now they're just sitting at home, and you use this person with money in his pocket to come buy your products and act like, you're all about skateboarding when you really won't push one day and risk your body.
Yeah.
Like, I've literally skated riverbeds and spots to the point where if I were to hit a rock and hit my head, I would have died. I've risked my life for the past 20 years doing what I love to do, so there's no way I'm gonna let some nobody come in.
So dude, you are fucking Street Savage.
So
you are Street Savage.
So I work with the savages,
Yeah.
The people with passions, the people that are consistent, the people that are always pushing to be better. I don't work with those people that, I'll look at their Instagram and be like, okay, they haven't posted in a month, 3 months. How can I work with this person if they're not going to work with me for the next 3 months? Or if I do something, they're not going to post it,
Yeah.
So I want the consistency. I'm working with the people that are always out there doing something for their community, always pushing, always. That's why when Betty Crocker Bakes reached out to me, and she was like, look, I'm doing an event at the Jade Room. I know you're a skateboarder. I know you've been in this industry for a long time. I respect what you do. I love what you do. I've seen what you do for cannabis. She's like, I want you to bring these skaters to this event. If you do good, we'll continue to work with you, So what I did, she booked me for the event. I went out, bought some Mob Grip, which is the best grip tape on the market. I looked at the Jade Room logo. I drew out the logo with paint pens on the grip tape. I put X Street Savage TV, put my logo on the grip tape. I did that with like 2 sheets of grip because they had 2 Stizzy boards that they were going to give out. So I gave them the grip tape. They gave them out with Stizzy boards at the event. I showed up. I got 50 skaters plus to show up to this event.
That's fucking hard, bro.
I shot photos. I skated the event. I shot videos. I smoked and chilled with everybody. I put the content on YouTube. I gave them all their content within the next week to a couple days. Like, they were blown away with the consistency and how much I was able to be present. You know, a lot of times they book a photographer and they just shoot photos and leave. You know, they're socially awkward. They don't know how to interact.
Yeah.
But me being in front of the camera for so many years, and you know, when they meet me, it's like, oh, they're meeting a professional skateboarder. You know, I get paid to do work in the cannabis industry for skateboarding. They get to meet a person that's been in music videos. They get to meet a person that works with these companies that they look up to, you know? So in all reality, I'm bringing so much to the table for them, you know? And they're like, what do you need? It's like, if you pay me for the event, I'll pull up, I'll give you everything on point. If you give me a VIP bag, pull up, give you everything on point. I don't need a booth. I got wireless microphones. I got a camera I walk around with. I got a, you know, phone that does 4K video that I could put online and do edits. I know how to edit. I do my own logos. I know how to do everything. So all they got to do is book me. I show up and they get a good experience. They get to meet someone dope. They get quality products. They get quality everything out of, you know, me being a part of these events. So you know, to the people that do ask me like, how do I get booked in these things, my biggest thing is just to be an asset, to always work on yourself and work on your craft at the same time. You know, give them a reason to book you. Come with the attitude that makes them want to book you again. You know, like working with, you know, for me, I work with only the savages. So like, for all the people that I don't work with, you know, like, go ahead and, you know, give them what they need. They need that content, you know. Everyone's human. Everyone's pushing. Everyone's going doing their thing, you know. Not everyone's a Marc the franchise that, you know, if I go up to the music video and I shoot photos and I send it to him and then he's reposting me and always doing these things, like, it's a very organic relationship that we have, you know, and that I have with the artists that are very consistent, because they're the ones calling me every week and they're like, hey, I have this project, do you want to do this? Sure. So I show up, I hang out with them, I shoot photos, I do this. So obviously I'm developing a relationship with this person, you know, and if you keep that relationship going weekly, monthly, every few months, even if they go do projects with other people and things like that, long as they're consistent, that's what I like to see, you know. Like, I like to see them growing. I like to see people prospering and doing great. And when I do my products coming from skateboarding, having it so judgmental, and if I go to shoot a skate photo, you know, I can't say, hey, I missed that trick on that 15 stair where you almost died and you barely rode away. Could you do it again? I know I had 0.5 of a second to get the shot, but I blew it. That's just like, you can do that in skating, but the skater's gonna be pissed. He's like, I'm gonna possibly,
I almost fucking died.
I almost died, literally. Like,
broke my ankle or something.
The reason I skated this rail is because I could almost die, and there's a pole in front of it that I almost hit my head on, but I didn't, because I landed it. But now I gotta go try it and possibly not land it. You know? So it's just and then when you already did something and you're like, I never gotta do that again, and then someone tells you gotta do it again, that's just kills you inside. You're I was terrified, you know? In the rap world, it's a lot easier for me to transition. You know, I could be like, hey, could you stand in front of that low rider and rap your lyrics again? Like, it's very easy for me to ask for a redo, or to be able to have that mentality to where I have to get things on point. Like, it's very easy for me to film someone and have 5 seconds, 10 seconds of golden time for me to film and get a good shot and things like that, rather than 0.5 of a second, you know, because if I didn't get the photo of him mid flip in the board, and the board is showing his sponsors, because now that's incentive to get paid more for him, then I just screwed up the shot. You know? So what I do now, for the intensity that I'm used to, is very easy for me to create the best products. you know? Even like at the Novo, like you got me a media pass, but they didn't let me in the pit. So
Fuckers.
I had the long lens to shoot photos. And then for the long lens, I had to be really on point because I had to zoom in all the way. And I have this little circle of frame for this person to stay in the frame of.
Yeah.
So I'm literally like tracking left and right, trying to get a solid photo. And when they're there for a split second, standing still, that's my shot time to shoot a photo. So all those photos that I took that night were spur of the moment, and they still came out good. But if I wasn't in that mentality of like being a skater, like, you know, other photographers would have been like, oh, I'm not even gonna do it. Oh, I'm just, you know, they would get upset. But for me, I was just like, it felt like I was shooting skate photos again, you know, like,
yeah, man,
I gotta be so on point, and so watching what I'm doing, it's just part of my everyday, the way I do my media. And you know,
so not only savages are on your platform and being recorded and stuff, but you have to be a savage too to set that tone, set that bar, huh?
Yeah, I have to set that bar and set that tone, you know, and that's why I go hard in everything that I do, because I don't feel right going to these artists and being like, hey, you should be putting out this much content, and then I don't do it myself. You know, they look at my page and they're like, okay, like, he wants this out of me and it's a lot, but he's a skateboarder, he's a model, he's connecting people, he's promoting different clubs, venues, different places in Orange County, he's shooting photos, he's showing up to that, he's showing up to video shoots, he's shooting behind the scenes, he's shooting full music videos, he's shooting all these different things, you know, like, who am I to tell him to slow down when that's his motion, and how, like, he's showing me how to be a savage. That's savagery. Savage TV, nonstop, you know?
What do they say? Real recognize real?
Real recognize real.
Yeah,
so
man.
I try to be that example and not just be the person that's like, you should do this, but showing them by example, you should do this, and I'm here to help you make it happen. These are the steps that how we can make it happen. And as long as they're on board with getting the ball rolling, like, it's gonna benefit them in the end of the day.
Yeah,
know?
man. And I like how you said too, where you'll go and, like, before you even mess with somebody, you'll analyze their page a little bit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't do that. They get faked out by the number of followers or the blue check mark, all that shit.
Yeah.
Because that's one of, like, my biggest pet peeves is I'll go check somebody's numbers and I'll be like, you got how many followers? Like, how many thousands of followers? And you don't bring anybody to your shows?
Yeah.
You got how many thousands of followers, but now you just turned off your comments and likes? Like,
yeah, exactly.
because there's no engagement, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, for me, that's like a big if on who I try to, like, function with and move with and mess with. It's like, if you really don't have the analytics to back up, you know, what you're doing, then I'll support you, I'll, you know, whatever. But as far as, like, interaction, it's gonna be very limited.
Yeah, because
very limited, because there should be no reason to fake it. Nobody should have that pressure, like, oh, I have to make my numbers look like. There should be no reason for that. You know? Do what you can do, and then just get better and improve. Yeah. If you're constantly faking this shit, it's like, how are you gonna improve? How are you gonna be better? You know?
Yeah.
And people don't get that. You know, like for me, I barely have over 2,000 followers. The rule of thumb that I've seen for people who really have numbers, you know, 7,000, 8,000, like, they're really grinding. If you go to an event or whatever, typically for every 1,000 followers, at least one person should be able to come out for you. Yeah. That's how you know if their numbers are kind of balanced or matched up. Once you start hitting 10, 20,000, okay, then you should be able to get 20, 30, 40 people, you know? Yeah. Things like that. But when you see some of these people that have 40, 50, 60, and it's like, but it's just you, like, you know, your homeboy or whoever, like, that's it? Yeah. It's like, man, you don't got no followers. This is fake. This, you know? So I like that you said that you analyze that, because as a artist standpoint, like I said, I don't compare myself against people, but I like to just, like, be aware and alert of who I'm kind of, like, going to be on a lineup with, and who else is going to be there, what kind of vibe is this show might, like, go towards, so it helps me build my set too. So I do the same thing. I'll analyze and do exactly what you're doing, because same thing. I want to be on a lineup. I want to be with fucking savages. I want to be with hustlers and go-getters, you know?
Yeah, I'm very serious about that, and, like, getting my work done and working with people and things like that. So it's like, if I'm gonna, like, pull up, like, I see it as like, don't bullshit me. You know,
Yeah.
like if you're gonna be like, yo, I have 100,000 followers, and you know, I'm gonna pay you this, and we're gonna do this, and I show up, and there's nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like,
Like, oh, no followers, but you're 2 homeboys again. Okay. That's cool.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just things like that to where I really do like, okay, he has 100K. Let me look at his likes. Okay, he gets 13 likes. How do you get 13 likes with 100K? You know,
Yes.
I'm out here getting
Yes.
120 likes, 90 likes, and I have 3,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
How are my 3,000 people doing better than your 100K?
Yes.
You know, so I look
Yes.
at things very realistically. Like, okay, you're gonna come at me like you're this big shot, but you know what I'm
Yes.
seeing is
Talk about it. Talk that shit.
yeah.
Bro. Yes.
So it's like real. Like people think like, oh, he's a nice guy. He's always smiling and this and that. But like, I see through the bullshit. You know, like at the end of the day, like just
Fuck yes.
because I smile and I respect you as an individual doesn't mean I'm not gonna
do
look
due
into your
diligence and shit.
words, you know, and look at how real
Yes,
you are as
sir.
an individual.
Dude,
Because
I don't mean to cut you off, but there's been like certain times where people try to like, hey, come hop on this tour, come do this and that, and I'll be like, all right, well, you know, who's the headliner? Who's this? Who's that?
yeah,
You know, I want to do my research because I want to make sure that our music will kind of like fit the same bill,
Yeah, flow.
and it's not gonna be some awkward shit or some goofy shit. I don't want to be on like maybe like an artist who I don't believe in or support, be like with them and
Yeah.
promoting their shit.
yeah, or like
So-
you have some lyrical music. You like if you went to just like a twerk turn up rapper,
Yeah,
you know, then it's just
yeah.
like everyone's just trying to twerk
Yeah,
to their
and-
music
and
and
it's
not
like-
even listen.
I might be the best performance, have the best music, but it's gonna fall flat because there's no twerking shit, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah. So I'll get that info, and then I'll turn down tours. I've turned down opportunities and tours and things, even where they were like, you know, we'll make you a headliner, we'll get you this VIP, this, we'll do this and that, and it's like, well, all right. I'll start going checking out who you know, gonna be there and perform, and I start checking their numbers, and same thing, so many followers, whatever, and then their analytics don't match. I'm like, man, fuck this.
Yeah.
These guys are trying to use me now. They're not trying to help me. They're trying to use me. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've turned down a handful of tours, a handful of shit, and I probably should. I probably should just got the experience out the way and shit. But it's like I can't help but be true to myself, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to have that feeling of selling out and like, oh, well, I just wanted to get on the tour, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've turned down plenty for the exact same reason of what you said.
Yep. And
100,000 of what? That don't mean shit, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Yeah.
it's like, I think from skateboarding, it really taught me to look into things too, because skateboarders are so true to the heart.
Mhm.
And they look at, okay, like, are you really a skateboarder starting this company, or are you out here for the money?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Nike and the Olympics. You know, the Olympics is looked down a lot in skateboarding to a lot of the raw skateboarders, because it's taking away from the rawness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's part of skateboarding is hopping fences, destruction of property, things like that.
Some rebel shit too.
Rebel
huh?
shit, you know.
Yeah.
And then skateboarding with the Olympics and things, it became very watered down, or there's non-skateboarders involved with it. You
Mhm.
know, that's why even with the breakdancing, that whole ray gun situation was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, because it was like someone who wasn't true was there representing the culture.
Mm-hmm.
You
Doing
know?
that goofy shit on the floor.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
So in skateboarding with Nike, they had a rough time getting into skating because
Mhm.
they were like, okay, who owns Nike? Not a skater. We don't know.
yeah.
So they have unlimited resources, unlimited money to go into this company and say, I want this top skater, this top skater, this top skater, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But now these skater-owned shoe companies are considered. So I like to skate America shoes.
Mm-hmm.
They're raw skate shoes. They used to research how the impact is done on a human's body when they skate. So they'd have the skaters put on a ball suit. They had an impact pad on the end of a stair set, and they would test the impact and watch it like they do NBA video games when they do like get the hoops
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Well, they studied skateboarding. Now when people see me skate America shoes, they're like, "Oh, that's OG," you know. because everyone's wearing Nike and Adidas and New Balance. And
Do you think people do them too for like the newer ones who wear like the Nike, New Balance, all that shit? It's more for like the fashion statement.
yeah, and it's easier for the fashion statement for the kids. So now Nike, Adidas, New Balance, they all got these kids in the mindset of that's skateboarding. You know, money, money, money. They should be paying you this much. They should,
Like brainwashing them.
yeah. And it's very, that's why. But true skateboarders, raw skateboarders, they see that, like, especially once they get older, they're like, oh, Nike was just throwing all this money to this person. But, like, this skater-owned shoe company gave this skater a pro model shoe that they helped him build from the ground up. Nike just gave him a colorway of a Nike Dunk and said, there you go. So they're dumbing down the individualism of the skate industry. There's no longer a pro model shoe out there for an individual that I could get on Emerica, and they'll be like, okay, how do you want these eyelets to be? How far up? How many lace loops? Where do you want the Emerica logo? How do you want the Emerica logo? Do you want to use our old logo? Do you want to use a new logo? Do you want to put it just in a metal thing in the back of the shoe? What do you want to do? Nike, it's just like, okay, we're coming out with a Halloween Dunk, and you have that aesthetic, so we're going to give you this black and green Dunk if you want, with your name on it. And whatever sales you get from that Dunk, you get from that specific Dunk.
Basically, we're going to come up with a shoe, we're just going to attach your name to it.
Yeah.
Because they're going to try to hope that person can generate revenue. And then, okay, so you get your money back, you get your shoe, but, like, still, this is what we do. Like,
yeah, but, to develop a shoe from the ground up, that's your design.
Yeah.
And you get 8 different colorways. So you get money from those 8 different colorways. And whatever shoe design, but they put more money into the production of the shoe for you. Because they had to get it all tested. They had to do all this.
Has Street Savage ever thought about branching off into merch like that? Shoes, hats,
Shoes would be crazy, but I have been thinking of branching off into merchandise, as in I created a media company to where I could support everybody and still do my own thing. I didn't want to create a clothing company and say, buy my style. You should be wearing my clothes, and this is what I created, so that's that. No, I wanted something to where it was like, this is Street Savage TV. I'm not gonna I have homies in the hood that I hang out with, and I'm like, if you create a company, if you start rapping, if you start doing these things, I'll get you on stages. I'll give you this opportunity. If you create a clothing company, I'll promote you. I had a homie come up to me. He's like, let me do your editing. I was like, I do my editing. I'm sorry. But if you put out a video, because he does great videos and stuff like that. I'm like, if you put out another video, I'll promote you. You have a dope logo for your YouTube channel. Start making merch, and I'll see if I can get you a booth somewhere, and you can start making some money and start revenue for yourself. I'm here to uplift people and create savages, and not just work with, oh, you model, you're cute, let me use you for this photo shoot, all right, bye, peace out. No, like, I want to see them prosper. If they are modeling, all right, I got this music video, do you want to pop out? We need a model. I got this homie with a company, you want to model for it? I got these clothing coming out, do you want to model for this? Okay, from that point, let's do some more work. Let's do, if you create something for yourself, let me promote it. I tell my friends, send me your music videos, send me your things. I do paid promotions for like story posts if I don't know people, for like $10. Like, get a story post in and I'll send it to people. If you really are that interested in growing your company and serious about what you do, like, I'm down to promote you, but at the same time, I don't go out of my way for people who aren't willing to help themselves.
Right.
Because in the end of the day, like I said, like that's why I created a media company.
You shouldn't be working harder than somebody else is at their own dream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. That's my main.
You shouldn't want it more for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, even like the people from the neighborhood that don't show up to any of my events or anything like that, I still send them the flyers all the time, just because it's like, don't think that just because I'm going up, I forgot about you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I still want them to be like, look, you still got potential.
Yeah.
You a savage. Like, just when you're ready to get out there and you have that confidence and you beat those internal battles,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
But in the meantime, like, if I get a goodie bag and I got some, you know, a dope blunt, I'll come smoke with you, bring it to you guys, and show you what you could be doing with your hard work. And, you know, being that, like, living testimony to where it's like, look, yeah, I've been to jail. Yeah, I have a 4-year-old son. Yeah, I was in a bad relationship with the mother of my child where I was getting hit, and she didn't let me see my son for 2 years of his life. You know, I missed 2 of his birthdays because she ran off with different dudes. And, you know, then, you know, I even have him now because she went to North Carolina and never came back, you know, with her new man. So it's just things like that to where it's like, I got these struggles everyday life, you know, and I'm not perfect, but that's even more of a testimony to the people around me to be like, look, keep on pushing. I don't care what you got going on.
Dude.
I don't care if you work a 9 to 5. Like, once you clock out, that you're clocking into your own job, your own life. And, you know, let's make something happen once you get off that clock.
Yeah, man. You're like a living testimony that you can go through everything you're going through. You can have all your ups and downs, your battles for these past couple years, and it hasn't stopped you yet because you're still grinding. You're grinding harder. You're fucking being a street savage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and even, like, the things I grew up with, like, I had my mom, I never grew up without with my dad in my life, you know? So my mom was always working. Like, that was just what she had to do. She was always working. She had me at 20, so she was with boyfriends and things like that, being young, you know, whatever. That is what it is. But my aunt became like a mother to me. And then I spent maybe from the years of, like, when I started skating around that time, like 12, she actually got hit by a skateboard at one of my uncle's, like, gaming events or something like that. He was playing baseball or something. And she went to the hospital because it hit her ankle, and they realized she had diabetes.
Oh, damn.
So that actually somewhat prolonged her life. You know, that skateboard hitting her, because she would have never realized that she was diabetic. And my family would have never realized how much it runs in the family. And, like, I'm the only one that's really fit. Everyone else has always been more overweight, you know? So, it's when 12 to 15, I was watching her go to dialysis. She finally passed away when I was, like, 15. I watched her, like, lose toes from gangrene and things like that. And then, you know, even, like, when I landed my first pop shove it, I, like, tried to call her. And then it was ringing, and I was like, damn, she's never going to answer again. Like, it hit me. You know, I forgot she had passed away. And I was like, damn, you know? So it was, like, things like that. My cousin Mondo passed away from the police. They tried to lie and say that he hung himself, but when they saw his body, he had, like, the baton mark on his forehead.
Oh, shit.
I, you know, had a lot of death in my life. I had my homie Moya. He used to skate with the Element dudes. Even Element, the owner of Element, Johnny Shilriff, he sold Element, so it's not that anymore, but it's called Heart Supply now. He owns Heart Supply. But Johnny Shilriff owned Element, and he made beanies that said Moya for everybody at the funeral. And then I had another friend, Zay. He came down. He used to pop over cars on flat ground. Like, they would set up, like, a Porsche or something, and he would ollie it from, like, over the doors, like, sideways. And I watched him come down this way. I used to take him out skating, and, like, I remember one time we were out skating streets, and he's like, pull over, I want to skate that on some, like, street shit, like, just hop out, skate it, you know? And I was like, damn, that thing's huge. He's like, dude, just do it, come on, like, we're here. And, like, he did it, and he, like, popped over this, like, big old, like, they call it a bump to bar, but it's like a ramp that goes up, and then it goes flat, and then there's, like, a handrail, so it's like a chest high rail that's, like, after it, you know? And he, like, popped over it and landed in, like, these sketchy brick tile landings. And,
dude,
like,
that's crazy.
You know? And then he ended up passing away years later. So it's just, like, I've had so many deaths and things like that in my life, and, like, so many good people go, it's like I have no choice but to, you know, keep on going and be a savage for the people.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You know?
Be a fucking
And
savage,
like
dog.
spiritually, like they say, like you have guardian angels and people watching over you, you know? So it's like
yeah.
I got like an army with me.
Absolutely, my
Everywhere
brother.
I go, that's where I see it, you know?
Dude, that's fucking powerful. That's fucking deep, man. For sure, man. I would love to have you back on another episode
Yeah.
where we can do more in depth about your skating. Possibly, you know, I don't know if you ever did amateurs or if you wanted to do the pro circuit. But like, I would
Yeah.
love to talk more about that. I would love to talk more about different music videos and music events you've been a part of, things that stood out, things that you would change. You know, if you ever want to throw on your own events, like I want to hear all this shit, dude.
Yeah.
So if possible, I'd like to have you on for a part 2.
Yeah,
If that's
definitely.
fuck yeah, my brother. We got it right there. You guys seen that? You guys see the drop some skateboards in the comment for that right there.
Yeah.
I get them back for a part 2 right here. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in this far. I want to thank my homeboy for coming out. My homeboy Hesh Hippie of Street Savage TV. I'm gonna link all his connects, his pages, his YouTube, everything in the description. I'll promote that out for you, man. I'll get these clips turned around for you, man. I'm really like inspired and motivated right now because I see how hard you work and I'm in presence of greatness. So I want you to know, like, I feel that. I respect you. I look at you as a brother. You know, I want nothing but the best for you. I see you want that for other people, and I want you to know, at least on my end, it's going to be reciprocated, man. I want to post your shit as much as possible, shout you out as much as possible. Music videos, all that stuff, I want you a part of. And like I said, never to work, though. I'm just inviting you to kick it, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for coming out, man. It means everything in the world to have great people sit down and have these convos with me, man.
No, yeah.
So thank you for being here. Real quick, if you want to shout your Instagrams or your YouTube channel out, go ahead and just look into the camera right there and shout yourself out, big dog.
All right, yeah. So my Instagram, heshhippie.tv, and then I got streetsavage.tv, and I have a YouTube channel for both of those. I got a TikTok for both of those. I got a Facebook page for both of those. So whenever I do posts and I collaborate with people, I always post it on all of my platforms. I always make sure I post it to the group chats that I'm in with, either whether it's 20 people or 100 plus people with different brands and people that I work with. So I'm always out here for the community, helping people. Make sure you follow. Thank you, Marc the franchise, for everything. The music video was an amazing experience. That was dope.
Absolutely.
DJ Quick that night was amazing.
It was fucking lit.
Yeah, I grew up
Yeah.
listening to DJ Quick and Sugar Free and you know, the Tupac tribute by John B. Like all those things were like amazing to be in the presence of. So you know, thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course.
You know, giving me this platform to speak at the same time.
Of course, my brother. Anytime you want to use this platform, anytime you want to come on, man, like I said, it's an honor and a privilege for me. I'm honestly honored and privileged that you were able to make it out to DJ Quick and the music video, because you don't owe me nothing. You don't you know, have to show up and pop out, and the fact that you keep doing it time and time and again, man, it means everything to me, for reals, you know. So again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for impacting me so positively and, you know, doing an episode with me, saving me, you know. But with that being said, I am Marc the franchise. I am your host. I am the one and only doing this in-house convo right here, trying to take this to the next level with my homeboy Street Savage, Hesh Hippie over here. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching. Before you go, don't forget to hit the subscribe on mine and his page. Don't forget to hit the likes, drop some comments. And everybody knows how to do this social media shit nowadays. So share and repost and tag, and we will reciprocate love 100%. No questions asked. But again, I'm your host, Marc the franchise. This is my brother, Hesh Hippie from Street Savage TV. This has been another episode of In House Convos, but motherfuckers, we are out.